Good morning, and hey now, PASW staff, clients, and friends. Welcome to Monday's class. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Very proud of what we did on Friday with the French film A Man and a Woman. That was a good challenge for us. We're going to go back to Hollywood filmmaking for the most part a little bit. We're going to score a scene where there's going to be no walking. This time it's just going to be staring. And it's going to be fun to see what you guys come up with. We'll talk about the movie, and if you're new to the class, this is where we take a famous movie or a well-known movie. I take out the score, and you guys become film composers, and you guys give me your score, either just a link. You can text me or email me. You can fax me too. Just kidding, but a link with Spotify or YouTube, and I embed the music and edit it for you guys. We've talked about hit points with Batman, where music kind of goes up to a certain point and there's a climax. And you guys did a good job with Batman. With A Man and a Woman, we talked about the foreign film formula of using something that is conveying not so much of the drama that's going on, so not like Batman. Batman, we needed tension, release. Man and a Woman was way more experimental. You guys could choose the mood, and like we talked about with foreign film composers, the music isn't based on the drama of the characters necessarily. So there's more freedom, but there's probably more experimentation too. So today we'll be I'll be adding another layer, but let's get to that. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about Ron Howard film. Came out in 2001. Very cool Russell Crowe movie, A Beautiful Mind. So Russell Crowe plays John Nash, who was a real-life mathematician and made a lot of contributions, many to game theory and differential geometry, which I know nothing about, but it sounds very smart and very important. I mean, he was a Nobel laureate in economics and an Abel Prize winner, and fascinating life. And along with all of that stuff, was a paranoid schizophrenic. And the movie is all based on his life. So the movie begins at him at Princeton, and where he starts developing the paranoid schizophrenia, and it's hard because of course we know with the mental disorder, it's where you see things and believe things, and you're not really sure which is what's reality and what's not. And it comes randomly, sometimes later in life. It's very scary, where you have delusional episodes, and so the movie shows that really well. And so it came out in 2001, which is of course the tragic year. We had the World Trade Center in September. So this movie comes out in December, a few months later. $58 million budget and makes about $313 million. So it was a hugely successful movie, and the score was by a very great film composer, James Horner, who unfortunately died because he was an avid pilot and his plane went down when he was flying near Santa Barbara, near the coast, and he was 61, so he died way too young, but wrote so many brilliant, great scores, including the best-selling score of all time for Titanic. He was innovative because he created choral and electronic music a lot with his film scores. And then he also would throw in kind of Celtic motifs. Now, Celtic is kind of folk music in the Celtic area in Western Europe, and so electronic, choral, Celtic. So he had this own original sound, and with the soundtrack that we're going to be looking at, you're going to hear that it's what I really love, that he uses a female's voice. It almost sounds like in between a girl and a female, as as an instrument. And we've talked about how sometimes composers will do that. Well, they'll use sometimes the singer's not singing any lyrics. It's merely the composer using the voice as an instrument, just like you would use the violin. The violin can't sing any lyrics, it just plays music, so the voice plays music. And so he does that a lot with this score, and I think it's really beautiful. And I think what James Horner wanted to really do was to create a kaleidoscope of sounds. And the scene we're going to be looking at is when John Nash, Russell Crowe, goes into this room, and he's invited to the Pentagon, and they ask him to look at all these numbers and to crack the encrypted telecommunications. They it's pretty much come in here, see if these numbers mean anything to you, and let's take a look at the scene with the score. So it's pretty amazing, right? I mean, he's able to decipher it. And what I want you to do is, I want you to end the music right at the point where so we can get the last line of, do you have a map? I'd like the music to stop there. Okay, so that's going to be our next assignment. Our next point that we're going to go to, where the score is, kind of going, and then it stops because the character is going to say something. So that's probably the director telling James Horner, okay, so here, keep it going, but then I don't want the music to go to the end of the scene. The character is going to say the last line to get us into the next scene. So that's going to be it. Okay, let's watch it without the score.
I need a map.
So, again, put yourself on set that day. Ron Howard goes over to Russell Crowe. Okay, we're going to show you these numbers, and you are going to pretend like you're figuring all this stuff out. And he's probably like, okay, I just look kind of serious. Yeah, just look like you're figuring stuff out. And we'll make the magic happen later in the editing room with the music. So think of it like that. James Horner has no idea what to do. Ron Howard at that point doesn't know what it's even going to sound like. Russell Crowe is probably like, I don't even know what this is just a random day of shooting where I'm not really saying anything. But it all comes together beautifully and magically with the score. And that's what you guys are going to come up with. Because the score is so magical and cool. There's kind of church-like sounds. There's all these kind of orchestral patterns going on, because you're seeing his mind work. Instead of the scene without the music, you're just seeing a guy staring. With the music, you're seeing genius happen. And so let's see if we can recreate genius happening in his head. I think we'll come up with some really fun stuff. And let's see if you can kind of time it and end it where it sounds like an ending, so we can get Russell Crowe's last line. And then get it to me by tomorrow. And then we'll see the results on Friday. So good work. And please play along if you haven't yet tried. Doesn't have to be, there's no right or wrong answers, but there's a better answer sometimes. There's a good, if you think vocals will work, that's fine. But I think what we want to convey is the genius mind of all these kind of intricate things going on. I think that's what Ron Howard would probably want us to do. If it's solemn and just slow, it would look like nothing's happening in his brain. So try to think of patterns and brain waves and all these kind of things. I mean, I'm just kind of, maybe you don't have to, but I'm just kind of giving you what I would think, perhaps. Okay, love you. Have a great rest of the day. We're going to have a great week, and see you tomorrow.